From UFOs to ghost and psychic powers, history is riddled with unexplained events. You can turn back now or learn the stuff they don't want you to know. Here are the facts. For several decades, Denver, Colorado has been a growing metropolis. As early as 1989, local businesses and government agencies began to plan for a newer, larger airport. In 1995, the Denver International Airport opened and was hailed as one of the most advanced airports in the United States. With an area of over 55 square miles, it's also one of the largest. But to some people, this is no ordinary airport. Here's where it gets crazy. Conspiracy theorists like Phil Schneider think it's a front for an extensive underground base, alternately described as an alien enclave, a concentration camp, and a refuge in case of an apocalypse. This airport is reportedly much more than it seems to be on the surface. But what do conspiracists propose as evidence of these allegations? First, there are several odd pieces of art in the complex. Consider the murals depicting alternating scenes of multicultural peace and violence. One panel depicts a group of unburied coffins, and another shows semi-human soldiers trampling flowers and stabbing doves. But there's one obvious problem with taking these paintings as a sign from some new world order. Why would the airport's designers publicize this plan, especially if it's supposed to be a secret? According to Leo Tanguma, the artist who painted the murals, these allegations are baseless and the assumptions are incorrect. Theorists such as Alex Christopher accuse Tanguma of being paid off by the New World government. And then there's the capstone in the southeastern terminal side of the airport, which bears the square and compass symbol of the Freemasons. There's also a time capsule under this stone, meant to be opened in 2094. Inscriptions also pepper the floor of the airport, most notably the Navajo phrase, Zit Dit Gai, which means the mountain is white. If that's not enough, consider the 32-foot-tall statue of a blue horse just outside. Even conspiracy theorists don't know what to make of this one. So why did Phil Schneider believe the airport is some sort of base for the New World Order? He claimed that he was involved in the construction of multiple underground bases, and that one of these is below the Denver airports. Like many conspiracy theorists, he believed he was in danger and targeted by the powers that be. Was he correct? Phil Schneider's body was found on January 17, 1996. Police ruled it a suicide. Many of his family and friends believe he was murdered. In an open letter, Phil's wife states that his lecture materials were missing. Was Phil Schneider onto something? What exactly is going on at the airport 25 miles northeast of Denver? Could it just be ambiguous art inspiring an army of conspiracy nuts? Could there be something else buried under the Colorado dirt? Something they don't want you to know?
There is a dedication stone in the airport that mentions the New World Airport Commission. However, there is no such thing. The New World Airport Commission is made up and was never created. One can only assume that it is alluding to the New World Order. Also, there is a plate on the floor that shows the symbols AUAG. Some may say that this is related to gold and silver. However, one of the sponsors of the airport discovered a new deadly strain of hepatitis known as Australian antigen, and this is also symbolized by AUAG. What is scary is that this symbol is located right in front of a mural on a wall that is about genocide. But let's talk more about the murals in Denver Airport. The murals located in the airport are the most notable features of this airport. The main mural stretches over 4 walls and was painted by Chicano artist Leo Tanguma, who was in fact Mayan. The first mural here shows 3 dead women, an African, a Native American, and a young Jewish girl. In the background, we can see the destruction of a city and a forest. This attempts to show the destruction of the world. Another notable part of this mural is the fact that there is a little girl carrying a Mayan tablet. This alludes to the Mayan date of December 21st, 2012. This is when the Mayans predict that the world is going to go through a rebirth phase. The main emphasis of this mural, once again, is the destruction of the world and the preservation of some life. The second mural shows a huge military figure wearing a gas mask and holding a machine gun and a sword. This sword is stabbing a dove, which is the symbol for peace, and implies that peace will be destroyed. There are grayish waves emanating from the figure, and these waves represent death, or in this case, a poisonous gas that has killed everyone in its path. This mural is the one with the AUAG symbol, the one that is related to the deadly virus strain. The third mural shows all of the children of the world taking their weapons from each country and giving them to a German boy, who is then molding them into something else. All the children of this scene are of different ethnicity, and all seem to be relieved. The gas mask man in the previous mural is seen dead, and there are two doves perched on his body. The main emphasis of this mural is to show the return of peace after all the killings have taken place, and that there will be no more need for weapons in this perfect world. The final mural has a Jesus-like figure in the middle, who is holding a plant which symbolizes rebirth. All of the people are running towards this man with happy expressions. Animals are freely roaming, and everything seems to be in perfect harmony. This final mural alludes to a new Garden of Eden, where the world is perfect size, and everything could work together in peace after the genocide that has taken place. All in all, these murals, when put together, represent the formation of a new world filled with fewer people, and this is also the goal of the New World Order, which has been seen represented throughout various parts of the airport. The symbology of the airport can still be debated, but one thing that cannot be questioned is the fact that there has been a lot of mysterious construction work underneath Denver Airport. When first constructing the airport, there were originally 5 buildings, but out of the blue, the builders were ordered to bury the buildings underground because they were supposedly built wrong. Normally, a building that is built wrong would be demolished, but in this case it was not. This allowed for an underground base to be created, but there are still workers who are sent to work in these underground bases periodically. But when they are questioned about the nature of their work, they all refuse to comment. These underground bases have been going under more construction and now have underground tunnels that connect all the buildings together. According to a contractor, these tunnels have a strange sprinkler system that was added onto the roofs of the tunnel. But this sprinkler system has no valid use, as these tunnels are concrete and underground. If relating these sprinkler systems back to the sign of AUAG in front of the mural regarding genocide, then one must begin to wonder what the use of a sprinkler in a concrete tunnel 150 feet below the ground would be. These underground bases appear to be holding rooms due to the sheer mass and size, and some say that they even allude to concentration camps. This is because 1. These holding rooms have no purpose, and when the airport authorities were questioned, they say that they are merely being used for storage. And 2, all the barbed wire fences face the inside of the airport rather than facing the outside, which is what they usually do. This implies that they are trying to keep things in rather than keep things out. And 3, the sprinkler systems have no use, but they may be related to the deadly virus Australian antigen and the pursuits of the New World Order. People have attempted to argue that the underground bases are being used for storage, but one fact must be questioned, and that is, why is the underground base 88.5 square miles long? And why were the 5 buildings mysteriously buried? No airport has or needs that much storage room. So what is this space really being used for? Whenever the authorities are questioned, they are not allowed to answer. We are not the only ones who seem to be fascinated with this airport. The Queen of England, alongside many other famous European royalty and politicians, are hurriedly buying property close to the airport under an alias. One can only assume that they must feel that there is something significant about this airport in order to do so.
Every time you go to the airport, you can't miss this guy, the blue horse with the beet red eyes staring at you as you drive up to the main terminal. Well, now he's getting a friend. Check this out. It's Anubis, also known in Egypt as the god of death. And now it's hanging out at the airport. Fox 31's Kim Posey joins us live tonight from DIA. Kim, we'll start with the obvious. What were they thinking putting the god of death at the airport?
Well, Ron, the statue is here paving the way for the King Tut exhibit that's going to be coming at the end of the month. The statue was erected right here on the south side of the terminal earlier today, and a lot of people are really excited about it. But some find it a little bit odd that the Egyptian god of the dead would be looking in on an airport where some people are afraid to be anyway. It's not the pyramids, it's DIA.
That's an interesting image to have here at the airport.
A statue of Anubis, the ancient Egyptian god of the dead, is going up here ahead of the King Tut exhibit.
I wanted a picture of that.
Art enthusiasts are really excited.
He's here to pave the way for King Tutankhamun's treasures to come to the Denver Art Museum.
But some travelers aren't sure if they feel more or less secure at security with Anubis looking in.
If it's the god of death, I wouldn't exactly be putting it out in front of the airport.
For some,
I don't like flying to begin with.
it's just not very reassuring.
It's kind of weird, especially being at an airport, you know, bad voodoo.
DIA already has the sculpture of the big blue Mustang with the glowing red eyes.
It scared me. I was kind of scared.
The statue fell on its creator and killed him, and some affectionately call him Blucifer.
What do we call it? A demon?
Now this latest edition of artwork could challenge the horse's notoriety.
The new pope, we believe at this moment, is changing into his papal white cassock. And one by one, we believe the cardinals right now would be approaching him to swear their obedience.